Iva, diskussjoni hawnhekk baqgħet sejra interessanti ħafna, grazzi għalikom telespettaturi tagħna li qed ikun hemm anke feedback interessanti anke permezz ta' telefonati hawnhekk. Grazzi lilkom telespettaturi tagħna li qegħdin nippruvaw nifhmu dan it-tip ta' filosofija. Jiena fil-fatt fil-break saqsejt jekk f'ħin minnhom jista' konfondejt ftit ruħi u qedtilha imma dan huwa qari tax-xorti. This is fortune telling u forsi Jani King twiġibna aħjar għal din. Irrid nistaqsija wkoll domanda fejn ngħidilha isma' jiena jekk imur għal dan is-seminar nixtieq nkun naf xi affarijiet din l-enerġija ħatgħid li l-affarijiet b'mod personali tiegħi jiena fien bħalissa għandi marda u nixtieq nkun naf dwarha. U nsaqsi domanda lil Jani. Jiena Jani ħatgħid li quddiem dik l-udjenza ta' nies ħankun naf kollu, sħabi ħajkunu jafu jien minn xi għaddej u forsi nsaqsuha ftit.
So Ivan is asking, is this a type of fortune telling?
Absolutely not, Ivan. No, it's not at all. This is simply about people learning to transform their lives. It's not about, and Ptah certainly wouldn't be fortune telling because he says we create it absolutely. And we create the future from what we choose for ourselves now. So he says that destiny is not cast in stone. We create our own destiny in a way. So yeah, there's nothing about fortune telling. So if anybody's interested to come for that fact, then no.
Not no.
And also he's asking the question, if he asks a question to Ptah in front of the audience in the seminar about himself or about a disease which he has, he wants to know more, will Ptah reveal in front of others what he doesn't want to show others about himself?
Well, Ptah will answer the question according to what you ask. If you don't want to reveal something in your personal life, then don't ask the question. But in saying that also, it's important to know that whatever question you might ask of Ptah, the fact is you're probably asking that question for at least half the people in the audience, you know, and that everybody will benefit. Even the people who aren't affected by the question will get something, always get something out of the answer. It's all very, I would say,
so the people will come with a common intention, maybe?
Well, I think the common intention is to change your life, to create more abundance of everything wonderful, actually.
So by changing your life, I'm getting to understand that we can create our own heaven on earth.
Absolutely.
This is the most important thing.
Yes.
That if humanity, or the majority of humanity, come to terms with certain knowledge, we can create heaven on earth.
Yes. Well, of course, to really understand that too is to really understand that we're not separate, that there is a collective consciousness, that nothing in the universe is separate, really. So each time we choose love, happiness, joy for ourselves, in a way that affects every person on the planet.
Yes, this is what when people speak about the law of attraction, we attract what we feel, what we are.
Yes.
And Ptah is showing us that if we go for love rather than the opposite, that's what I suppose.
That's right. Yes.
It's
how
amazing,
to choose love. It is. Yes, it is extraordinary. And as you kind of get more into this idea of choice and more into the idea that you deserve to create wonderful things in your life, and that you're also doing it for everybody else when you do it for you, and teaching people also by example rather than going out and preaching about all of this stuff, by showing by example that you can have a joyous, happy, fulfilled life that has nothing to do with anything kind of outside of you.
It's amazing, I mean, because I know a lot of people who feel they don't deserve to be happy.
Seems to be one of the key things for a lot of people. It's about
the microphone, please.
Use the microphone. Yes.
It seems to be one of the things for a lot of people. It's about that deservability. You know, you don't deserve anything. You've got to work hard. You've got to do this before you can get anything. It shouldn't come. It should be difficult. Why?
Yes.
But if you look at what Ptah says, it's there. If you're creating your own reality, absolutely. Well, and you deserve it, or you can change that belief. It's there for you. It's amazing.
I know people, even to do an exam, they have to feel bad. Otherwise, it is not. There's no challenge. I shouldn't pass if I don't suffer. You see what I mean? Yeah. Or if I'm not afraid or terrified. You see, and it's amazing how people do this in their life. You know. So I would like Jani, because time is moving, to introduce Pat and her kingdom.
Yes. Well, can I just say that that after working together for many years, Ptah talked about the fact, and this is important apropos of what we just spoke about, no separation. This is not just people, of course. This is for all of the flowers, all of the natural expressions of God, if you like. So he talked about the fact that the goddess Earth, if you like, and all of the things upon and within the earth are there to support humanity. And we talked about flowers, and he talked about the fact that the flowers themselves are here not only to astound us with their beauty and their perfume and their for our sustenance, but also that we could create essences, these beautiful flower essences, which would support this idea of transformation. And so Patty and Rick came to visit me in Australia. We had the most wonderful time, and we created these essences from the flowers, mostly from my garden in far north Queensland in Australia. So Patty, would you explain about that?
Yes. Well,
can you put the microphone in your mouth?
Yes. Well, I've been a flower essence practitioner for many years, and I've always loved making flower essences because they have it's the most extraordinary journey when you pick a flower, you float it in spring water, the sun potentizes it, and you have an amazing mother tincture. And this is how we did the process in Australia.
Dina qed titkellem issa u ma tantx se ninterrompiha biex nittranslejha. So dina titkellem kif taqbad il-fjura u tuħu l-essenza tagħha u taħdem bl-elementi bix-xemx u b'ħafna affarijiet. Għodu simgħuha sew għax imbagħad forsi min ikun irid isaqsi fuqhom iċemplinna u nirrisponduh. Imma mhux se noqgħu waqqafha biex nagħmel traduzzjoni. L-ewwel ċertu teknika. So, ħanħalli f'idea, all right? So we can carry on.
Thank you, yes. Well, for anyone who knows Dr. Bach's work with flower essences, Rescue Remedy, that is a similar way that the essences have been made. What was wonderful for us with the journey with Ptah, doing the events, Rick and I, was that we realised that we wanted to bottle that energy, because when people had finished a workshop, they were on the most high, they were having the most wonderful time, they wanted to continue with that. And so these essences started to be formed in us making them at various events. And when we came to Australia to see Jani and her beautiful garden, we got incredibly excited because suddenly this gem of an idea was coming through the three of us, because Ptah had been talking very much about transformation, about how to bring about change. And he was also talking about these 4 core negative beliefs or misperceptions that we all have. And for me, it was like this light went on, because it was, I know when I studied the Bach essences, Dr. Bach always talked about there being this onion, and it was like peeling back the layers of an onion to get to a belief. And there we were with these 4 core negative beliefs that we all have. So it made so much sense to me. And of course it did to Jani and it did to Rick. And so we realised that if we could create these 4 core negative belief essences to support the change, to support the transformation, then this would be so useful.
So if I'm understanding you well, you create an essence for the negative beliefs
No.
or for what is
No,
Yeah.
to support change.
to support the
To
change.
support
Yes.
So
change.
then, because we notice that when there is change, there's a resistance.
Yes.
So
Yes.
to melt
Yes,
the
absolutely,
resistance,
yes.
because there is a resistance.
Yes.
Yes.
And flower essence are very good at
Yes, very
subtly
good, yes, yes.
melting away and changing that thought process and that belief.
That's
So
right.
the medium of flower essences works really incredibly well.
So even when somebody feels hurt, because sometimes change, when there's certain
Yes.
type of change, there's a lot of pain sometimes.
Yes, yes.
So that will help ease the pain.
Yes,
as
well, we also created 5 support essences, which when that belief starts to shift, if emotional things come up, the support essences help that go through with love.
Amazing, because
And to embrace. I mean, the main essence.
Sorry, I'm rushing because
Yes, I know.
we can even use this, for example, when there's real disease like cancer. We can use this because
can use it.
I mean, behind the disease there's an emotion.
That's exactly right.
Hard
Yeah,
emotions.
absolutely.
Pero l-iktar ħaġa interessanti forsi anke telespettaturi tagħna ikunu jistgħu anke jifmu dwar dak li qed jingħad forsi mhumiex jifhmu anke bid-diskussjoni bl-Ingliż. Interessanti ħafna dawn l-essenzi, pereżempju fl-ixkum minnhom hemm the gift of change, ġifieri l-essenza tal-bidla, l-essenza minn qed ibati għaddej minn relazzjonijiet ta' mħabba bħalissa hawn ukoll l-essenza għalija the gift of calm, pereżempju, biex tikkalma hawn diversi essenzi. Il-gift li inti kollok iktar konfidenza, pereżempju. Hawn diversi essenzi differenti.
Yes, interessantissimu.
Ħafna.
Ġemintku, u anka nistaw intuhom il-website later on we give them the website of PET. It's here because they can go on the website and find a lot.
Li hija goldenlight.senses.co.uk. Aktar tard se nerġa' nagħti dan it-tarif lilkom telespettaturi tagħna.
U minn ikunu jridu aħna nkuntatt magħhom nistgħuhom.
Ekku.
Yes, you can yes.
Can I just say, we're going to, this is important because if people are fascinated, as we all are, about these essences, on Sunday, we're doing a separate day. Pata will be there, but the bottom line is this is all about the flower essences, how to use them, and we'll actually be making a flower essence which is apropos of that particular day with those particular people.
I see.
So that's going to be really exciting. Yes,
The interesting thing is, actually, one of the very original essences that we made for this was at an event in England. This is before we knew we were going to make the essence. And you were there, Alfred. You partook in it. In one at Leiston Abbey.
And that was the essence for connectedness.
Connectedness.
Yes. Yes, that was beautiful. The essence of blue geranium flower.
So do you teach people how to do the essences, or do you teach?
Well, what I do is I teach people how to use the essences.
How to use the essence.
Yes, because what we all created was what in flower essence speak, stock bottles.
Yes.
Which you can dilute down into dosage bottles for people to take. And so I teach people how to make the formula, if you like, of how what essence in what bottle with what supportive essence. And what I've done is created a dosage bottle with those in. So you would have, for this one is called the gift of love. And in that essence would be golden ginger plus 5 support essences to help with that change.
This is amazing because you're giving me some ideas now, because I'm a Feng Shui practitioner.
Yes.
And I go into houses, and in some houses the relationship is very bad.
Yes.
And I think I can help them with essences.
Yes, and you can put them into a little atomizer, and you can spray them round to help with anything that's going on.
I will call you about this.
I will be glad to answer.
Yes, because there are houses
to make up some
in Feng Shui. There are systems where the relationship doesn't work in certain places. But if we can use essence rather than changing a house, it's better.
And of course,
or changing the wife or the
yes.
husband.
She put it in
Although
my tea at
sometimes,
times.
Alfred, you need to.
But also you take it, you can change house, but if you've got the same baggage,
Yes,
you
yes.
take it with you, you just transfer it into that property.
This is amazing. Yes.
But the thing about what I would like to say is though that when you change that belief, it's that then can bring wellness.
Yeah.
We can't now, because of legal reasons in the UK, and I don't know what it's like in Malta, but we do have to be careful of what we claim the essence can do. So we can't claim that it will heal physical.
Oh, yes.
So basically, but anyway, that is...
But it doesn't, but what we can do is, we can also say that, I mean, if you're having medicine, don't stop it.
No,
but
absolutely.
this is a complement to medicine.
Absolutely, yes.
And that is fine.
It's a
because
support
it's a
system.
support
System, yes.
Even it will help the side effects.
Yes.
Because I know that there are some medicine have side effects.
Yes.
And you can have, in a sense, not to suffer certain side effects, which are there. So we can use it in many ways.
Yes. I mean, at the moment, I've got a friend who's got cancer, and I've been sending her the dosage, each of the dosage bottles as she's been going through the various anger, the sadness, the grief, and each one. And the gift of love was the one that was loving herself as she is, because she knows that she has co-created this, but still she's been in the pain of that. And so to get her to able to heal that wounded child and to love who she is.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
You are giving me a lot of ideas. And I'm going to ask, I mean, people with disability, this can help a lot.
Yes.
People under coma. Because there are certain cases where people decide and say, he's disabled, fixed, no way. He's in a coma. But these are fixed ideas. I suppose there is room for change.
Yes.
Always.
And that's what...
I wonder, yes?
No, well, I was going to say, this is how they support sort of the things that Jani was talking about earlier on. It's about our belief structures, and it's about supporting that change in our belief structures, which then can change our physical aspects, our well-being, and the rest of our feelings.
Because I mean, in quantum physics, they say that our physical body changes every so many years.
Yes.
It all changes. Now, what keeps my disability? What keeps my disease? It must be something in my belief system. Now, if we work on the belief system through the power of essences, knowledge, I suppose there has to be a change.
Yes. Patar says that what also happens with diseases is that people blame their body. And they say, you know, bad body, you're sick and you've let me down in a way. And he says, if you can turn that around and be in the understanding that this body is a miracle and that in fact all it's doing is mirroring a mental or emotional dis-ease, and once you can say to the body, thank you very much, body, for showing me what I believe and how it feels, I'll deal with it, and now you can get on with normal operations.
Good.
You know?
This is amazing, isn't it?
Yes,
because most of our problems are supported and fixed by our belief.
And when you can transform the belief, these essences support that real desire for change.
And you cannot force change.
No.
I cannot force my son if he doesn't, or somebody, because I have, no. I mean, it has to come from inside you, is it?
Yes.
That there is definitely a way to change.
But Alfred, if my son is a drug addict, and I'm as a person, as a parent, what I'm going to do with my son?
Well, first of all, I think you have to honour his choices. That's the hardest thing for parents to do, I think. To understand that everybody has their own journey, everybody has chosen kind of parameters, a game plan in a way. However, also in the understanding that people who suffer from chemical abuse do so hiding from the pain of just being alive. And I think that once the pain can be healed, the addiction automatically will drop off. But of course it has to be the desire also to change the addiction. But the hardest thing for a parent to do is to say, I honour absolutely your divine right to live your life, particularly with young children, you know, 14,
but,
15.
for example, as a parent, I'm seeing my son that he is smoking.
Oh, it's dreadful, dreadful thing, dreadful
What
thing.
I'm going to do?
Heartbreaking. Well, you know, you've got to first of all deal with your own pain. And as Pata says, the only thing that you can ever do for anybody else, you can't heal anybody, you can't change anybody. The only thing that you can do is to love them unconditionally and absolutely.
But the word I hear here, which is very important, which we all miss, is I am judging my son that he is bad. And that's what she's saying. I understand that once you start judging your son or whoever it is, that is not, then the person is going to enhance his pain. That he's
not good enough.
It's not good enough. And this is I mean, like, for example, I have friends or I had friends who died at the age of 20 with overdose of that. And I feel, you know, pain. This person was judged by all the people around him.
Yes.
And